Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Backseat Boys podcast. Today, we are joined by
Me, George, Flashy on YouTube. You know how it is.
and me, JustEather, also known as just Tristan. And in today's episode, we're going to be starting it off.
We're gonna be feeling the shit out because it's the first episode. The
Yeah,
beginning of
we've
something
never done this.
spectacular.
All right. So, did you want to start with something off?
Well, for the time being, we do some introductions. What do we like to do?
I like to collect stuff. I'm a little collector boy. I like to collect old games.
You know,
I also
fucking-
collect an ungodly amount of figures.
That is true.
I I don't know how much my entire collection would be worth, but I think I wouldn't have enough money to buy a house if I were to sell them.
See, on the flip side, I have a collection of CDs and a collection of manga that is far too large. I have an overly expensive CD rack. It doesn't need to cost as much as it does.
That's literally the one thing I don't have. Something that everyone would expect me to have, manga. I have none.
That's crazy to me.
Because the only manga I've ever had was when I was a kid. I asked my mom to buy me Pokemon Adventures, which is low key an
love that
incredible
shit.
manga.
I love that shit.
It's Pokemon, but what it should be.
I had it. I had a volume
what-
of Pokemon Pearl, I think.
When I remember a key moment in Pokemon Adventures. I think it's Gary has a Charmeleon, or well, Baloo. He has a Charmeleon, and he's fighting this Team Rocket guy, and his Charmeleon just cuts Arbok in half.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. There's some crazy fucking shit that happens in the Pokemon manga. It's like brutal.
Yeah, I've actually been meaning to read it. I just forget because it's like that with everything I start reading. I'll read like 50 chapters. I'll be like, okay, I'll read this another time, and then I don't. I completely forget to read it, like Jujutsu Kaisen, like that other one that I started that I already don't remember the name.
Oh god, that happened to me with Berserk. I got like 190 chapters in, and then I forgot about it. And that happened in
Berserk is
that
crazy.
happened in like 2019.
Jesus,
So
dude,
that
last
tells you a lot.
last time I read Berserk, I was still living at my dad's place, and I was in the room before my girlfriend came to live with us. So 2-3 years, I'd say. Jesus. But at the same time, no Berserk chapter has come out since then, so I wasn't really missing out on anything.
You do have a point. But of course, rest in peace, Mira.
Yes.
He did die. But
Sad.
the story, you know, it's
It's
getting
very sad.
continued.
By his assistant.
His assistants and one of his friends,
Oh, nice.
who he
I
had
thought it
known
was his
for like
wife.
40 years.
I don't know. I heard somewhere that it was his wife that was supposed to continue.
No, his friend is also an author. I just don't remember his name. I think it's Koji Mori. He put out like a little one shot about how long he's
one-shot.
known him, and
Oh.
like
That's nice.
basically how he felt when Mira died. He's written some stuff like Holy Land and Destroy and Revolution. They're pretty good. I hope he does. I think he'll do a good job with Berserk.
I sure fucking hope so. I hope they can keep up with the art style. I think Berserk has a beautiful art style.
I don't give a fuck about no art style as long as Griffith dies in the end. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't get far enough. I don't want to spoil, but I know he's a piece of shit. But
He's like the worst guy ever.
because I can't. I don't really want to spoil anything, so I'm just not gonna say it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm
But
trying I'm trying to figure out how to say something without spoiling it, even though it's about something very specific.
I got you. For the people who don't know, Griffith is the worst guy, maybe ever of all time, with obvious exceptions like Hitler. But yeah, no, he's really bad. He's just a not good dude, not PogChamp, and
piece of shit.
unfortunately, he's not dead yet.
Yep. After what? 40? Nah, no, not 40 years. I don't think it's been out for that long.
Yeah, I mean it was like 30.
I don't even know when Berserk came out.
If I remember correctly,
In
it
the
was 97, I think, the first time. No, that was the anime. The anime was 97. The manga was no, the manga was 88, so it's been 34 years. Yeah.
Christ, man. That's crazy that it's been out for 34 years and it's shorter than One Piece. And also unfinished.
By a lot. Also, it's not even they're not even close. Like it's just very like much shorter.
There's like a an 800 chapter difference.
Close. It's like it's like 600 something. No, I know it's about it's about 700.
Jesus, that's still a lot.
Oh yeah, it's a shitload. But I would put the overall quality of Berserk over One Piece. Both art.
I mean,
styles
the art styles are so completely different.
That's not putting down One Piece though. One Piece till the day I die, but like.
Still very beautiful.
Yeah. I found that when I started like reading / watching One Piece, I was like this specifically reading. In the beginning, I thought the manga was not like anything that I should have cared about, because I didn't expect the art style to be good. But there are some really good shots in the manga.
For One Piece?
Yeah, that really surprised me.
I mean, I haven't read too much of it. The main times I'll see manga panels are when either like something new gets leaked, or I'm just looking for something to draw. I'll go on Pinterest and I'll be like, manga panel, One Piece, and then I find something I like.
I pretty much read all of Post Time Skip outside of Fishman Island, which I slept through the anime for. But
it sucks.
Yeah, it's fucking shit.
Every time, because yes, people, I am a big nerd for One Piece. I've been watching it since I've been a little wee child. I have rewatched One Piece more than enough times for me to be 6 feet under.
The funny part about that is that you're not even caught up to One Piece.
Yeah, but okay, here's the thing.
I just think that's incredible.
Right now, I'm at Wano. The time that I tried rewatching it before that was like maybe 2-3 years ago. I got up to Punk Hazard and I stopped because Fishman Island took out literally all my motivation to watch it.
Can I ask you a question?
And yes.
What act of Wano are you on?
Literally the beginning.
Like.
I'm like maybe episode? Like. I'm probably 10 episodes in.
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean they just like Luffy just did the Red Hawk on Hold'em.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And yeah, now they're going to find out the little secret of time.
True, the fucking time fruit. Because you're still early, but like, how much have you seen like on your own?
On my own, I'd say because I started watching Wano when it first came out. I say I got up to around when basically Luffy gets sent to the abyss by Kaido. Mm-hmm. Basically, slavery.
Oh, okay.
And then I kind of stopped around there.
Okay.
So I told myself, I'll let a bunch of episodes come out, and then I just didn't watch the rest. And I'm actually kind of glad, because now I'm rewatching it with my girlfriend, and I get to experience at least something for the first time in this show with her.
True. And then when eventually you get to post 1000, so like near end Act 3 Wano, you're gonna fucking lose your mind.
I'm gonna fucking cry.
See, I'm one of those people who dogs on One Piece for ages because the people who watch One Piece are insufferable.
It's funny because there's one thing I've noticed. Everyone who shits on One Piece has never watched it or read it, and as soon as they actually get like through a decent chunk of it, they go, "Oh my god, it's so good."
Honestly, the only reason I had a negative outview is because everybody who watches One Piece is fucking annoying.
Yeah, they always shove it down your throat. Watch One Piece, please.
And every time you're like, "Oh, I like this like X piece of media," they're like, "Well, it's not. He's not the king of pirates, is he?" I'm like, "Well, shut the fuck up."
Can he stretch?
Yeah, how far can his fucking cock reach? Gee, I don't fucking know about Heisenberg's fucking penis. Bro, he has a normal human dick.
Can he blow into his thumb and make his cock bigger? Huh?
Maybe.
Can Heisenberg do that? No.
It's possible. We just might not know.
Can Manny do that? No.
Manny can definitely do that.
No.
Absolutely.
No, I don't believe Manny can do that.
That's all
right. So, we've got a few questions for today that we thought would be fun to answer, fun to talk about. I do want to start by the second one that you came up with.
You go right
I
ahead.
want to talk about the worst insect.
There are a lot of bad fucking bugs, man.
I hate bugs. I
But I don't want.
despise
I don't want.
bugs.
I want you to get specific. Don't just be like, "Oh, I don't like spiders,"
Yeah.
because then I'm gonna fucking stab you.
Oh god. I hate spiders.
Wow, thanks, shithead. What's the worst kind?
Honestly, I'd say tarantulas. I think
Tarantulas are
well, I
relatively
don't think
harmless.
I don't think they're like the worst. I do hate how they visually
Oh yeah,
look.
visually they're terrible, but they're kind of like they're cute.
It's
They're
funny.
cute
It's
little
funny because
boys.
I always find myself watching tarantula videos on YouTube, and I'm there and I'm like, I hate these, but I love seeing them eat things.
True.
It's
They're
so satisfying
it's just,
to just see a guy with tweezers bring like a little grub up to a tarantula, and you just see it go. It gets closer,
it just
and they,
drops them.
it just gets closer, and then
Delicious.
and
Fresh fucking
literally.
snack. But look, honestly, tarantulas don't piss me off that much. I would not want one on me, but if I saw one like 20 feet away from me outside, I would leave it alone.
Yeah, same.
But at the same time, I would respect it. But I
Because
would be
when
creeped out because it's like a fuzzy spider, and I hate that.
yeah, they're fucking huge too. I
They're
mean,
massive.
literally,
They're
if you were to
fucking
step
massive.
on you step on that thing and it doesn't just die, you hear it.
No, it'll like fucking push you back. You can have like a hockey clash.
You're there, you step on it, you think you've killed it, and then
Get
your
thrown
foot
back.
starts to rise, and you're like, what? And then it just pushes you back, and then fucking punches you in the face.
Honestly, if I
Tarantulas are
Sorry.
scary. I don't think they're the worst insect in the world. I certainly don't like them. Because when I was a kid, there was this place up in the boonies up north.
Sindona.
Well, it wasn't too up north. It was like a little animal place, right? They
Yeah.
had snakes. They had alligators. In fact, there was this one little. It was like a building, small building, and they had this one area where you had a kind of like a small little bridge, and you would look down and look at that, a bunch of alligators that would literally eat you if you fell in,
Oh,
which I think was incredibly dangerous because every time I went there, I was either with like my little cousin, and I was like, dude, if they fall in there, like, they're dead. Goodbye.
yeah, no.
And
Definitely.
right next to that area, there was this little area where with a bunch of like benches, like benches that kind of go like slanted upwards
Yeah.
so that you could sit down. And they do like a little animal exhibit, and they start talking about animals. They'd bring out snakes. They'd bring out insects, and sometimes they would bring out tarantulas. And they will go around being like, "So, which one of you guys wants to touch this hairy-legged creature?" And every time, my family members would look at me and go, "Okay, Tristan, you want to touch it? You want to touch it?" I'd be like, "No,
Fuck
no."
fuck that.
And they see that I'm visibly like shaking my head, like, "No, I don't want to touch this thing." And the girl would come up to me and she'd be like, "You want to touch it? Okay, here, touch it." And I'd be like, "No, I don't want to." And it was like in my face, and I'm like, "I don't want to touch this thing." Like, don't force a kid, an 8-year-old child, to touch like a monstrous being that he doesn't want to see.
No fucking Lovecraftian horror.
Literally,
the hairy spider.
To an 8-year-old, that is literally what a tarantula is. Unless you're one of those kids that likes insects.
You're one of those kids who has a fucking pet tarantula you name like fucking Arnold or some shit. If you were one of that
Eddie.
kid, if you were one of that kids, click off the podcast. I don't want you here. I don't like you. I don't like you. You were weird. But the closest thing I had to one of those experiences, sorry to cut you off, was
That's alright.
in elementary school. We had a field trip to some fucking eco zoo or some shit. They had a milk snake.
A milk snake?
It's a snake that like only eats like very small rodents and shit, so it doesn't bite people because it's like scared.
Okay.
And it really did look like milk. It was a really crazy color of white, and they were like giving it around, passing it to the kids. The girl comes up to me. She's like, "You want to touch the snake?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to touch the snake. This thing is fucking metal." And the snake stuck its little tongue out. It was a lot longer than I thought it would be.
At the same place that I was talking about, they put like big, literally boa constrictors around your fucking neck.
Now the question is, did you die?
Yeah. Sadly, I passed away
I'm sorry.
about 14 years ago.
But your death was greatly exaggerated, and you came back.
Yep, exactly.
So
They found me inside the snake, and I just crawled back out.
Jesus. Have you ever seen those pictures of like snakes that they just eat some random shit? Like I saw one of a snake eating like an AK-47. You could perfectly see the outline of the AK sideways in its body. It's fucking
Yeah,
spectacular.
yeah. When I was a kid, I already told you about this, but for the viewers, my mom was very strict. And so when she'd take my stuff away, it was, oh, you have nothing to do? Well, here's the Discovery Channel. And so, I kind of grew like not a passion, but a little hobby for every now and then to just like search up stuff on animals. I like myself some animal time. And I sometimes I'd search up like anacondas or boa constrictors, and you just watch them eat, and it's like, damn. I watched this one video where a guy puts himself in a metal suit, and he goes up to I don't know if it was an anaconda or a boa constrictor,
Was it a
and he's like,
metal
let's see if
endoskeleton?
this thing can eat me. And so he gets there, and it starts, constricting around him.
As they do.
It is so strong that this entire metal suit is starting to bend. And he's like, get me out of here. Please, no. He starts to panic. Of course, because you're about to be crushed in a metal tin
No,
by a snake.
they have some fucking crush force. That's crazy. And I don't even know about their strength of their jaws, but like just like straight squeezing, they can crush your neck.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
is fucked
No,
up
they can
because
crush
every time you go to the fucking zoo and they have one, they put it directly on your neck. Like why?
Yeah,
Why?
literally.
This is the most vital spot of my body.
This is how you get children killed.
Like I am small, I am frail. I don't know my times tables, and I certainly don't know that this snake can kill me very easily.
Yeah.
So I just rather not. But to loop back around, I don't think we actually. At least I didn't answer the worst insect question. I'm gonna go with June bugs.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, they're these little brown bastards. These little rat motherfuckers, these June bug pieces of shit.
June bugs.
They mainly come out in the summer, as you can tell by their name.
They look like stink bugs.
They look relatively like beetles, but they fly. And they're
Ew.
very loud and very big, as opposed
Yeah.
to what the picture shows you.
Do we even have these here?
Yes, actually, I was about to talk about a personal experience. When I was 7 years old, I was coming home from my friend's house, who actually lived down the street, so it was like a 1-minute walk. But there was a swarm of June bugs on July 1st. I remember July 1st. There's so many. Because my next door neighbor's tree just
Guys,
was
there
like
was an army.
had like a nest of June bugs. So there was about 14 billion of them in that tree. And I remember seeing them on July 1st, and since I was 7 years old and stupid, I was like, but it's July, why are there June bugs? There should be dead. Because I'm dumb. Once again, don't know my times tables at this point. But anyway, one of them flies directly into my right eyeball. I burst into tears. You know, as you would at the age of 7. Run back to my house the next 30 steps, and then I start pleading to God to fucking rid the world of these horrible creatures. And I've hated June bugs for the past 11 years. I will never change. I would rather a spider in my house 300 times over one of these. That's actually not true. I don't ever want to see 300 spiders in my house.
You wake up one morning, you look at your ceiling, you're like, huh, why is my ceiling moving? And it's
Why
just
is the ceiling
covered.
dark? I thought I had a white ceiling. It's just 40 spiders.
I think there'd need to be a little more than 40 for your entire ceiling to be
Maybe-
painted a different color.
Maybe there's a little dark patch, you know. Like, oh, is there a leak? No, it's just fucking arachnids.
Because I'm thinking, I just Googled worst bugs, trying to think of what we have here that would be considered the worst.
Centipedes. You know the
of cour-
dude. You know those like weird like gray and red spiky centipedes. Like this thing looks like a robot.
Yeah, I've seen very few centipedes around here though.
There are some that are thick.
For those who don't know, we live in Canada.
We are French
So-
Canadian, but I am
Yeah.
an Anglophone, so
We
they
speak
don't like me.
Anglo.
Bill
Yeah.
96 and all that.
Ugh. But yeah, no. So we're not, Australian. We don't have creatures of mass destruction and death.
I will not go to
everywhere.
Australia unless I am given a large sum of money, because any country that has a spider raining season should be burnt. And I know the last time somebody said that the whole country Australia caught on fire, that's a good thing. That should have happened. I apologize to anyone who might have died. If you're listening to this and you died in the Australia fires, sorry.
My bad.
You deserved it.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to go somewhere. Dude, have you ever seen
Yeah, me
pictures of the
neither.
fucking spider rains in Australia? Everything looks
Actually,
foggy. Everything looks foggy, but it's not fog. It's
everything's covered
fucking
in web.
cobwebs.
Yeah, yeah.
What the
I
fuck?
think it was Max Mofo. He did a little vlog, and he's like, down here in Australia, look at all this, and then everywhere, bushes in his
Horrible.
house, outside of his
Horrible.
house, just everywhere, cobwebs, and you're like, damn, what the fuck?
You know, then you go back in history and you think, why did every country unanimously send all of their prisoners to Australia? Because of that.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
wanted them to suffer. And I think that's a really good way of punishment. However, people now subject themselves to that freely by living in Australia by choice.
I mean,
don't
there
know
are
why
so
you
many
would.
other different things in Australia that are scary. Like, just take Komodo dragons, for example. Like, you get bit once by that thing, and good chance if you don't go to the hospital right away, yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, you're fucked.
There's also box jellyfish. Have fun swimming in the ocean, feeling safe when a jellyfish that can sting you, just a little tip of his sting, is enough to literally kill you instantly. Well, that's fun.
That
That's
reminds
fun.
me of like Portuguese man of wars. You know those like fucking 140 feet long ass jellyfish?
No.
Dude, they're things of horror. They're horrible. I don't like them.
God. But I'd say, honestly, some of the out of worst insects that we have here, mosquitoes for sure. That's
Fucking
so
mosquitoes.
like it's so general, but I think everyone can agree that mosquitoes fucking suck.
Also, there might be some background audio because somebody called my fucking house phone. I don't know why. Nobody.
And
uses
you
house
did not
phones.
pick up. Good job.
No, because I didn't recognize the number.
But have you ever seen a baby dragonfly?
No, I would like to.
Basically, what a baby dragonfly is they're not your typical flying around beautiful.
I'm gonna Google it, and if
creature.
I jump out of my chair, I'm blaming you.
It is not at all what you would think it is.
Oh, it looks like a fucking those cicadas, those fucking things. It's not bad.
Wait a second. They don't look like exactly the same as what I was.
Maybe you're
The
thinking
ones
of
that
something else.
the ones I've
Hold on,
seen.
they're calling again. One sec.
Oh my god, Jesus! This guy, man. I swear to God, they look so much different. I swear they had pincers. I'm probably just stupid. Come on, come on. Give me a picture where they have pincers. I'm sure they had pincers. I don't know what kind of dragonflies other people have, but mine here, they definitely have pincers. They're like little scorpions without tails. I swear to God.
Sorry, it was the bank calling. I'll just cut that part out of
But,
the thing later.
yeah. Basically, a dragonfly, a baby dragonfly, the ones that I've seen, the very few that I have seen when I would go up north to my cousin's place, they had like little pincers. They kind of look like if they were a scorpion, but with very tiny legs and no tail. And I don't know why I cannot find a single picture of them. 'Cause I swear to God, it was a dragonfly. I know it.
Maybe you were fucking wrong.
It might not be baby dragonfly. Let me.
Probably not.
Newborn dragonfly?
Maybe.
No, really, I can't find anything. I'm just stupid, probably.
That's all right. So
I really feel. I feel like I've been lying to myself all these years.
You want to move to the next topic?
Of course.
So I'm actually going to go with the first one I proposed. So I thought of this one last night. I want to know what your opinion would be on government-mandated periods of crying. Like tears running from your face.
Again, I don't know how they would do this.
You have to meet a quota. You have to like take footage and send it to them.
Okay, so you have to actually. It's not like a meet and greet type of thing.
No,
where you go up to the
it's
government and
embarrassing.
they're like, okay, you next.
They force you to have video of
cry.
yourself crying on your phone. Because
Do you think they'd have enough people to review every single person crying?
Yes,
Because
they could do
just
like
at
a
what?
they could do like a not a volunteer thing. But you know how like when for the COVID testing they were just hiring random people.
Yeah.
to like do the vaccine, because you don't really need to know anything. You just have to know how to push a piston on the back of a needle. Well, all you need to do is watch a video. So,
But like, couldn't you easily just edit it?
uh,
What about that?
I
What about
mean,
that part?
maybe you have to fucking submit a sample, like a little vial of your tears. Because as we all know, crying makes you feel better. It really does. So the government should fucking mandate it. We should
I
all be
think
crying always.
I think the repercussions to this, for anyone who chooses to not cry, or just for some reason can't seem to cry for the government, there should be some serious repercussions.
Can't seem to cry for the government. You can't cry in the name of the government.
So basically, it's either, as I was saying, we're Canadian, we have taxes, ungodly high amounts of taxes.
Really,
Actually,
too much tax.
So it's either, they're like, okay, well, you can't cry. Well, no tears are coming out. So here's a 5% tax increase on everything you pay.
God.
And everything that comes off of your paycheck.
I can't afford that.
In the end, it costs you'll be like, okay, that's not too bad. It's better than a fine. But at the end of the year, you get there and you're like, wait a second, 5% of every annual income? Oh my god, that's so much.
That is a lot.
That, or they just, I don't know, off you. Just imagine this. Just imagine this. Crowd control. If you can't cry, you don't need to be part of society. They just send you to a remote island.
And then you have to fight to the death. With all the other people you have to fight to the death with all the other people who are not crying.
Dude.
Like a battle royale.
Imagine if you start crying during the battle royale, what do you think they'd do? You think there'd be any special thing?
Yeah,
for you doing?
Yeah, there is something special. You get executed.
They're like, oh, you couldn't do this before?
Exactly.
Okay, well,
that's exactly what the fuck they do. They're like, really, really, fuckface.
Sorry, guess we gotta get rid of you.
They're like, you could have done this any time in the last 365 days. You choose to do it now. Fuck you, die. And then they shoot you with a cannon. You get shot by a cannon in the stomach.
They send you to Australia.
They send you outside in the spider rain. With all the black widows and the wolf spiders and the huntsmans and the whatever the fuck is the size of your face spiders all at the same time.
Yep. I mean, I don't know.
The fucking roos are out too.
It's a very good question. I just don't know how they'd put that in place.
We need it. The world
We need
needs
it.
government.
We absolutely need it.
Yes.
How would you put this in place? Huh?
Man, I fucking told you already.
No.
Yeah. You'd have to fucking submit footage.
It's not gonna work.
How do you know?
I don't know. Because here's the thing: submitting footage, you could easily again edit it, and for the crying, the sample of tears, literally just stick something in your eye.
Well, I mean,
Like
you're still crying, so they're still getting what they want. I already said you didn't have to cry out of emotion; just tears had to fall from your eyes.
Okay, I guess that makes more sense. But yeah, if you don't do it, a gun pointed to your head.
No. If you don't do it, you have to fight to the death. There will be 20 winners. They all get to survive. If you start crying during that fight, you do die. That's about it.
Jesus.
I think it's a good idea. Helps thin out the population. Speaking of population, as of June 2022, so that would be this month, the world hit 8 billion people.
Oh God! No!
That's not good.
No! That's too many people.
I think we should eliminate anyone under the age of 11.
Me.
No, I'm gonna go with 11-year-olds. Sometimes I go out. Whenever I'm talking to an older person, I like to tell them just to fuck with them. I'm like, so you go to the mall, right? You see a group of 13-year-olds. There's nothing wrong with that. And then they're like, yeah. And I go, all of them were born in 2009.
Yep.
I don't want to think about it.
Here we are, born in 2002, 2003, and then we see people born after that, and we're like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's crazy though, because I look at 13-year-olds and they look like babies. I swear to God. I swear to fucking God, I looked older than that when I was their age. I sound like an old man. but I swear I looked older.
No, I get it. Every fucking year, they just look younger.
Imagine
So
like
one day you have a kid who
human.
you can swear is in the third grade come up to you. He's like, yeah, I'm 15. And you're like, it's not fucking true.
Okay, little Timmy.
Like, you're a little boy. Go do your fucking drama class. I don't know. Whatever the fuck you have to do in the 5th grade. I don't know shit. It's been fucking 35 years since I've been in the 5th grade.
Yeah, man. It's been ages since I've been in elementary school. Bruh.
It has.
Yeah, I passed elementary school years ago. Yeah. Yeah, I did.
It's not good. I don't like seeing children in public. It makes me upset.
It's even worse when they start doing like cringy things.
But
Like
to them,
things
it's
that
normal.
everyone or that, but it's things that everyone knows is cringy. Even the kids of their age know it's cringy, and they're just gonna be like, ha, ha, we're gonna be stupid.
Weren't we the same?
No.
That's why I try not to hold
I
it against them that much, 'cause
refuse.
every time
I
I
refuse
see,
to believe I was like them.
well, I mean, we didn't do the same things, but like the nature of what we were doing was the same. That's
Yeah,
why
we
every
did the
time I see
floss.
kids doing cringy shit in public, like yeah, I'll be like, oh, that's fucking cringe, but then I'll be like, I get it, because
You
I
look
did
back
the same
at-
thing.
You have a flashback back into your life, and you'll be like, I was like that when I was a wee little lad.
Like I was arguably worse. So you know what? These guys do what they want.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's
So,
just the way of the times.
so we had another little discussion idea.
I wrote this one in for you.
Yes. Yeah, in fact, he wrote it. I'm surprised because he wrote it after he remembered that I worked in a supermarket. Speaking of supermarkets, your worst supermarket experience.
You want to
I'm
start?
gonna let you start with this.
Okay. Well, near my house, there's a certain Greek supermarket. I'm not going to say what it is so I don't get stabbed. But there's a lot of Greeks who go there. I myself am a Greek person. So, I go there. I walk and I go Kalimera even though it's like 6 p.m. and that means good morning. There's always these old motherfuckers in the morning fighting for their goddamn lives over a watermelon and a bread. And you're like, it's not that fucking serious. You go in there, people are hitting you with their carts, they're throwing the carts. I saw the mistreatment of the employees. Every time I walk into that fucking store, I feel so bad for the employees.
Those people are just depressed. They're
like
living their lives.
17 tops. You see this like this teenage girl, she hasn't even written like her exams yet. And she's just getting yelled at by this 60-year-old Greek bitch. And you look at the woman and you're like, aren't you fucking embarrassed of yourself? Yelling like this at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday at a child because you're upset.
You walk into the store, it's fucking total mayhem. Oh, you just
It's exactly that. It's exactly that.
You look around at the cash and there's just little like teenage girls hiding under the cash, shaking.
People are crying. The women, the fucking old people are screaming. There's women running for the hills. The men are having a fist fight. The cucumbers are being sprayed by whatever disinfectant they have.
Someone's stabbing someone with a cucumber.
The only people who are ever chill inside that store are the people who work at like the butchery in the back, which is really ironic. I think it's because they have like an outlet. They have an outlet to put out all the rage, which they just cut up the meat and they feel better.
That, and they're also away from all the customers.
True.
They don't have to see them unless they're giving them meat.
Because you can't just like go up to the counter and be like, "Yo, I need this. I need beef." No, they tell you go fuck yourself. You grab a ticket. You wait for your fucking turn. They have a good system going on there. But no, I just hate going to the supermarket because all you ever see is the cashiers who are far too young being treated far too terribly.
Yep.
And I feel bad every time.
Before I get into the experiences that I've had, considering I've worked at a supermarket. Down here, we have something called IGA. You know what IGA stands for?
I actually don't.
And so basically, some of the things that I think I generally hate, not anything necessarily specific, it's people and their families.
Yep.
You know when you get in there and a woman of 5 children is walking around, she can barely handle all 5 of them. One's in the cart, sitting, in the little seat. One's in the cart with all the food. He's almost ready to devour it all. And the 3 others are running around looking at like tomato sauce and they're going, and they're all everywhere. And then the woman's in the middle, and then you're like, okay, well, I have enough space to pass to the side, and then the kid just starts running around in that little space. You're like, fuck off, get out of the way, like get your kids under control. I think that's one of the things I hate the most, when people think that they are the only people in the world. But other than that, that's just general.
I love seeing families like that, because you always see the kids. There's like 6 of them, and you're like, damn. I know these parents are struggling to like take care of the first 2, and then there's just 4 more. That are like, they're like little monkeys on the side screaming.
I mean, like, hey, if you're happy with your life, if you're happy with
having surely that has to be too many kids. You can't be happy with 6 children.
If you're happy with 6 kids, look, that's up to you. But fucking Christ, if being
nobody
happy
else
and being able to take care of them is 2 different things. But I worked in a supermarket, in a little well, not a little big. IGA is a pretty big.
It's a big supermarket.
Big franchise, not franchise, but
no, it's a company.
Yeah, it's a pretty big company where we're from.
They have a lot of stores.
Yeah, basically, any town you go in, you'll have like maybe 2, 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I worked there for about a year and a half, and then I also worked in one when I turned 15 for about like a few months. And
you worked at 2 IGAs? I thought you only worked at the one.
I worked in one in Laval.
Yeah.
And then I worked out in one in Saint Jerome.
Oh, I never knew. I thought you only worked at the one in Saint Jerome.
No, I'd get back from, I'd finish school, and my boss, like the first one I worked at, my boss was like, you know what? You just school? Well, I need you to work all the time.
Yeah.
And so he'd be like, okay, well, at 3, you can come work. I'd have like maybe 30 minutes to like eat a little something. I'd go to work after getting off my bus. I'd get there, I'd work, and then the weekends, he'd also make me work. So I was already doing like 30-hour weeks while doing school. And then I moved. And then I waited a year. I didn't work for a year. I was still going to school because at that point it was in Dermontagne, and I woke up at like 4 a.m. just to get to school. And I got back at 5. I got back at 5, and it was like, And then when COVID hit, literally the week that school closed, I started working at IGA.
I see.
And at the one in Saint Jerome, and that place, Saint Jerome is a fucking weird place. It is like. If you could choose any location in the world to compare it to, honestly,
garbage.
It's like a mix between Florida and Alabama. The people over there look like they're fornicating with their brothers and sisters and cousins.
Yeah. And
they act like they would be from Florida. So you have a horrible, horrible mixture of people over there.
Honestly, it just sounds like you get the best of both worlds.
No.
How many crocodiles?
You get the worst of both. It's two negatives does not bring a positive in this case.
It really does.
And so I work there, but I'd have times where customers were fucking pieces of shit. I hated it. But I'd say it's not necessarily the worst experience, but I saw an old lady shit herself in the aisle.
Oh my god.
One of the aisles.
Oh She's my god.
A frail old lady.
Well,
I honestly, I'd say in the 80s.
Not her fault.
And of course it's not her fault. It's not one of the worst experiences. But she's shitting herself. It's, at that point, at that age, your shit's not solid anymore. It's just running tap water at that point. And it's all over the floor.
Ugh.
And it's not, I say it's not the worst experience because I'm not the one who picked it
up. Fair enough.
But just seeing it was like burning my eyes. It's just something you wish you could forget. And I surely wish I could forget that because it fucking sucked. I did laugh at the guy who had to pick it up though.
Oh, absolutely. I think the closest thing I had, sorry to cut you off, doing experience is that I work at a clothing store. Unfortunately, I can't say the name because I am still employed there, and it's a pretty big company. But during the Christmas season, so we have dressing rooms, and this was during COVID, but the dressing rooms were still open. I'm walking around, and I see a dude in an aisle, just being like weird. So I'm like, okay, like maybe he's stealing. I'll go check out, right? So I go turning the aisle. I expect him to see him taking like the price tags off of shit. He is actually just in his underwear trying on pants in the middle of the aisle. And I look at the guy, and he just looks at me and doesn't say a fucking word. He's just staring at me. And I tell him, I was like, I don't think I need to tell you the problem here. And then he just goes, I just want to try on the pants. So then I don't even turn to the dressing room. I just move my arm in the direction, and I go, there's a fucking dress. Well, I didn't say fuck. Well, like, there's a dressing room right there. Just go there, please. And the guy, like, scoffed. He was like, oh, I'm like, what? Fuck you! What do you mean? What do you mean? Nobody wants to see your cock and ball.
Yeah, you're literally getting undressed in public. They have rooms for that. Why are you doing it
seriously,
here?
there are designated rooms that we clean after every customer. We're not asking you to do anything. They're free. Just go there. Do your shit there. There are children in the store who don't want to see you like this, much less than I do.
Yep. Some of the worst things though is I'd say because I started working at the IJ in Saint Jerome when COVID literally just started. So, you had the toilet paper epidemic.
Oh, God.
Where toilet paper disappeared. Everyone. There's an entire fucking aisle for toilet paper. Literally. It's like 10 feet. No, way more than 10 feet. I'm horrible with length.
You have no depth.
But it's long enough. It's long enough for you to walk by the aisle and see the sheets of white covering that aisle. And so, you get the people asking, oh, where's the toilet paper? Well, it's in that aisle, but we have none. What? How could you not have any more toilet paper? I mean, I don't fucking know. Don't ask me.
I never understood that, because, like, clearly you're coming here because the other store you went to didn't have any toilet paper, which means you fucking know why there's no toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like, hello?
But it would be the same thing with food items. Some people were certain that we sold certain food items. They're like, yeah, I know you have this. I've bought it before.
Oh, I hate that shit.
I go, ma'am, I'm sorry, but we don't have this. Look, I know for a fact we don't have this. I can go ask my boss if you want me to. And she's like, yeah, I want you to go ask your boss. Make sure. I go ask. No, ma'am, we don't have any of this. We don't sell it. And they just get mad at you as if it's your problem. I'm not the one making the orders. I'm not the one who chooses what's on the shelf. Like, eat shit. It's also horrible when you do sell a certain item, like the toilet paper scenario, but it's food, right? So they're like, oh yeah, but how come you don't have any? I actually got this question at one point. Canned potatoes?
Yes.
They come in little balls, and some of them come in slices.
They're all disgusting.
There's a lady that wanted a lady and her husband that wanted canned potatoes, the little balls, and they're like, oh, like where is it? And I'm like, well, they're here. It's just we don't have any at the moment. And they go, well, how do you not have any? Like, usually you guys always have some. In fact, it's one of the things that sells the least. And I look at her and I say, look at the rest of the aisle and tell me that you're surprised. Literally all the canned goods. It's like a desert. There's nothing. Can you really be surprised that your shitty canned potatoes are not there? Eat something else. I don't know. Get some canned beans or something. You'll get your protein from that.
You're a fucking nut.
It's horrible. Some people are just so shitty.
I hate
especially
potatoes.
Like, it's even worse with the mask thing, where it was like you kind of have to enforce people to wear masks at that point, and you were like, yeah, I'm sorry, but if you want me to answer your question, you're gonna have to put your mask on. And they go, no, I have a free right. I a mask.
Yeah, you're like, your rights say that you have to wear a mask, so shut up.
Yeah, literally. And then your employer has to come and there's like, ma'am, if you don't put on your mask, you're gonna have to leave. And they're like, no, I can stay here. And then the security would drag them out.
Yep.
And honestly,
it's like, what do you plan on accomplishing?
Yeah, no. Worst supermarket experience are really just
the entire
general stuff. Yeah, literally. I mean, the worst part is I wouldn't have mind continue working there if, of course, you got paid a little more.
Yeah.
Minimum wage. I understand. I guess it's one of those jobs that's so easily findable. But if you're depending what uh department you're working in, you're doing a lot of work.
No, you're right. Like, there's always a lot of shit to do because, you always go there before you get a job at one of these stores and you go to them, you're like, wow, the fucking workers here do jack shit. And then you start working there and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're like, oh my god, no, that's not actually what I thought. My mind, dude. I don't know if you can relate to this, but every time I go to an IGA, and my girlfriend also relates to this. Anytime we go to a Uniprix, we go there, and I see some things that are misplaced. I'm like, I could place that.
Oh my god, all the time.
And then it's even worse because you start asking questions to maybe like another guy that works there, and like you get an intrusive thought of just, what if I told him, hey, I used to be one of you.
I get, dude, all the fucking time. I try so hard not to pop those. Like, I went to like a store from the company that I work at, not the same one, but a different one, in Ontario. And I go there and I see the cashier is like doing everything wrong. But she's new to the cash, I can tell, because the manager was like telling her what to do. And I really just wanted so bad to be like, oh, like you could do this before doing that. I'm like, no, that's fucking weird. That's fucking weird if I do that.
You just don't answer them how you know. You just fucking know.
Yeah, just guessing.
She looks at you and she says, "Oh, do you work here? Like, do you work in one of our establishments?" And you go, "No, I just know this."
No, I just spend a lot of time here.
Yeah.
Speaking of that establishment, that was the smallest goddamn version of one of those stores I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Like, do you know the one that's like I lost my train of thought. But anyway, it was tiny. It was so small. There was like one aisle for like the home section, 2 or 3 for the men's, like 5 for the women's. I'm like, Jesus, it's like a fucking hole in the wall. Literally, the fucking LCBO, which is the Ontario alcohol store, right next door was bigger than this franchise building. And I'm like, what the
fuck? Me and my girlfriend, we went to Ontario a few months ago, and they don't have an SAQ. If you don't know what this is, an SAQ is basically Quebec's version of just an alcohol store.
Yeah, because in Canada you have to buy all of your alcohol, well, most of it, from like government mandated, like regulated stores, so they can like not track your purchases, but it's just easier so that there's no like weird trades going on if they do it like that.
The only thing you'll find in a regular supermarket is beer and those fruity drinks, like
and weird like red wine.
Yep,
that is not that good.
The horrible wine. And so yeah, we go to Ontario, and I'm like, okay, there's no SAQs anywhere, and I see a store called Beer Store.
Oh my!
And I'm like, okay, is it just a store that sells beer? And she looks at me and she goes, no, it's their version of the SAQ. And I'm like, Beer Store. That's what it's called, Beer Store? And she goes, yeah, that's what they have here.
You tell her she's fucking wrong.
I mean, that's what it is. No, Beer Store.
No, Beer Store is fucking wrong. I'm gonna burn Beer Store to the ground. So I'm just checking the timer. We've got about 5 minutes left. So if you have any closing statements you want to make. All
right. Well, honestly, I'd say that's a pretty good first episode.
That's about it, man.
It rolls off a lot better because, first time you're doing this, you're like, damn it, I want to be prepared as much as possible. You want to make sure that, you've got this all in the bag. But honestly, a lot of the times it's just let it roll.
Yeah.
Off your tongue. Just let it go. Things come to you naturally. Yeah, sometimes you'll have moments where you go, yeah, so, yeah.
Well, luckily, with the power of cracked Sony Vegas 15, I can take care of that.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't come after you now.
They can do their fucking best. Those bastards are never going to catch me.
Episode 2 of the podcast.
Sorry, yeah, I've been hit with a cease and desist.
George is no longer with us.
I've been killed. I've been killed by the Sony Mafia.
Sony just came to
They've
your
taken
door
me
and they're
off
like,
the
I think you know why we're here.
I think if that happens, like I'll respect it. The afterlife, I'll be like, you know what? Maybe I deserved it.
You were killed by the company that made the PS5. How do you feel? They put your
Died.
organs in there.
I hope somebody can buy it.
The PS5 casing is made of human entrails.
It's possible. I mean, every time I saw the other day that the PS5 apparently hit like 19 million sales worldwide, and then everybody was like, to who?
I don't know if that's
Who,
good.
like, no, I mean, it's good considering it's been out for a year, but like, they have not produced 20 million of these fucking things. There's in no fucking way.
I mean, they're a lot easier to find now.
They're still a bit of a bitch.
I'll go to a GameStop and I'll find quite a few of them.
I always see the Xboxes, but I don't think I've ever seen a PS5.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think people like Xbox that much.
Yeah, because Xbox is not that good, and which pains me to say it, because I will be Xbox until I die, but it's just not that good.
Because like I liked Xbox for what they had, the Game Pass, but I just found that they never had anything like strong to be like, yeah, come to our side. People who liked Xbox never really gave a good reason as to why Xbox was better. It was just like, yeah, Xbox is Xbox. But like, if you buy Sony, like Mr. PS5 or even PS4, like the games that you can play on, like the exclusives, they're amazing. They're beautiful. They're so fun.
I think the main problem with the release of the PS5 and the Xbox was that the Xbox came out with zero fucking new games.
Yeah.
It had
You
none.
know, it was supposed to come out with Halo Infinite, but
and then that game came out 2 years later and it was a fucking piece of shit. Like, it fucking sucks. Which hurts me also because I'm a little Halo boy, and that game is fucking horrible. We've had 3 bad Halo games in a row. Well, I'm going to say 2.5 because I kind of liked Halo 4, but like, it was not that good.
At this point, like, I haven't played much of Halo, but at this point, I think it's about time you give it a break, just a little break, you know? Stop as soon as you make the game, just and release it, just say, okay, you know, maybe we should work on something else just for a bit. I say that even though I buy every Pokemon game that comes out.
I don't know. You're like a bitch to Pokemon for some reason. They just give you the same game every 2 years. You're like, oh, be good.
No, every year actually.
That's even worse. Like, but you know, I am saying this. However,
Pokemon's getting better.
I'm very likely to buy the new Pokemon because it has co-op. That's a fucking crazy move by them because they know the game looks just as shit as Sword and Shield did, and that they did not change a single thing about it, and they know that, so they're just selling the co-op point, which I guarantee you is going to be really bad and not work properly at all.
Yeah. It's either not going to work properly or it's not going to be as co-op as people want it.
Yeah, it's just going to be like,
oh, you can walk around in this small little circle with your friends and show them your Pokemon.
Watch it just be like a party system. I wouldn't even be surprised.
They're not even joining your world. You just see their little icon at the top when you want to talk to them.
That's what I meant. That's exactly.
It's just voice chat.
There's no voice chat. There's a terrible text chat that only works half the time.
It's not even like a text chat. It's like you can't even like text anything. It's just like pre-made conversation emotes.
Oh my god! Like in fucking Pokemon, day. That's the worst.
Have a good day. Hey, let's battle.
I just realized I said like in Pokemon, despite the fact that we're talking about Pokemon.
Then what was the game you were talking about?
Like fucking Diamond, Pearl, Platinum.
What a fucking bunch of shit games.
Fuck you, those games are amazing.
Oh wait, you mean like the original? I thought you were talking about the jeez.
Even the remakes were all right. They were a little like lazy, but I do like the games a lot. So I am seeing it rose colored, definitely, but I still like it.
I find that it's fun, but just not as enjoyable. I would hope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. It maybe might disagree with this. I think Diamond and Pearl sucked. I think Platinum was amazing.
I think Diamond and Pearl on their own are good. Platinum's definitely better by a lot. But I do still think
huge margin. It's like I don't know. It's just something about Diamond and Pearl.
There's just absolutely no reason to play them when Platinum exists. That's what the problem is.
I guess, but I don't know.
Why the fuck would you play Diamond or Pearl when you could just play Platinum and get the experience of both games?
It's crazy though how these games that came out like maybe like 10 years ago are so pricey now. Like I'm buying. I let me do a quick mental calculation of how much the Game Boy games, because I have all the Game Boy games. I have Gen 2 and Gen 1. That right there, easy 180 for Gen 1. And then another, I think 220 for Gen 3. That's fucking crazy.
It's just not good.
Gen 2, I mean. They're such good games, though. Well, from a standpoint of Gen 1 being good, yeah, they're fun. They're incredibly broken, but so broken. I swear to God, I played that game and I was like, damn, what the fuck?
They are so broken to the point that we actually cannot get into it this episode.
Yep.
So unfortunately, that's going to have to be the end for us here.
Yep. So thank you all for
tuning in to the first episode. Oh my God, we said it at the same time. That was not planned, and I'm going to kiss you on the lips. It's going to be cute.
Good. But yeah, thank you for tuning in to the first episode. To whoever listens to this, and
to the friends of ours that we forced to listen to it.
See, here's the thing. You didn't tell me where you were going to be posting this on.
YouTube and Spotify, if I can figure it out. Which I hope it's not hard. I feel like no, because I checked it out briefly for a period of about 22 seconds, and it seemed easy enough. The real bitch is going to be like the Apple podcast.
You can, what the fuck?
Yeah, how the fuck do you think they get on there? You know, the podcast app. Nobody uses it.
I didn't even know that, but it's still good.
It's still there.
It's another way to spread our influence.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think of a shitty fucking bio, but I have one in mind.
All right.
You'll have to see for yourself. So thank you all for watching. Tune in whenever we next upload.
Yes.
It's undefined. We don't have schedule.
Yes, we don't know.
Hopefully within the next fucking month.
Yeah, we've been talking about making this podcast for the last month.
It's been a while.
And we've never just gotten around to doing it.
As it is.
But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.